Alright folks, I thought I'd give you a short little video of some testing I did. Here I'm borrowing my buddy's paramotor. He had bought a top 80 on a Miniplane frame. It's the newer style, large cage, can swing a bigger prop. I think he had a 140 centimeter ish prop on here. Maybe it was a little bit bigger than that even. And he let me take it for a spin because you can see I had a long run. I've been thinking, you know, I'm gonna have to replace my motor, maybe get a new paramotor after not too much longer. I got about 400 hours on my crankcase, and of course I've replaced the piston and rings and the whole top end more than once in that time. But this the motor I currently have, a Moster 185, is gonna end its life eventually here. And just thinking ahead, my buddy said, "Hey, come out." He was eager to let me take his for a spin. I flew it on my wing, which was a 27-meter Mac Para Colorado, so it was kind of my normal setup. It was a very low wind or nil wind day, so that makes launching, as anybody that flies these things knows, makes launching, you got to run harder. You got to kind of create your own wind by moving across the ground. But it's very doable once you get the wing up and get the motor spinning. But you know, certainly my judgment here, with I weigh about 220, probably 225 in my birthday suit. That's probably a 40 to 60, 50 plus pound motor on my back, and you know, in low wind, I think I would really want a little bit more power behind me. I'm spoiled with the 185cc motor that I've been flying. Here I'm going to come around again, and then I'll basically go full throttle and show the fastest climb out that I could get. You know, I don't really need, if I knew I was only flying in the higher beach winds, higher winds, where takeoffs wouldn't be such a long run, wouldn't be a big deal. But if I find myself in a low wind morning, it's a lot of dew on the ground and maybe a little challenging, I want to launch on the road, kind of one of those things where you want to get it right the first time and you don't want to have to run too far. I think I want a little bit more than the 80 cc's was giving me, even with the larger prop. If I had to share the motor with a buddy or something, or maybe my wife or one of my kids, lighter than me, needed to share and I could only get one motor, I'd probably go for the 80 cc so they could handle it and I'd just deal with it. Certainly very doable. But there, I'm bringing it in for a little skid landing there. Certainly very doable, but I think I want a little bit more power behind me, so for my next motor. So thumbs up to the unit. Here's my buddy James. He's gonna take off on his motor now. I've got my 185 on the back, and as you can see, he doesn't make the correction I do, but he still gets off the ground pretty lickety split, as it were. There, a little bit longer run because it's low wind, but you know, if I could get off the ground like that with that motor, I would take it in a heartbeat. But just not quite what I'm willing to go for on my daily driver. Here's James. We had a great day of flying. I'm going to leave that all out for this video. Just wanted to talk about my experience doing a test flight with my 220 pounds on that 80cc motor. Talk to you later, guys.